Welcome back, everyone, to the Web Design with WordPress 101 course. Today we'll talk about how to select a domain name for your website. Selecting an appropriate name for your site can go a long way towards increasing the visibility of your site on the web. In this class, we'll touch on some of the do's and don'ts of choosing an appropriate name for your website. Most users who need to find something on the web start with a search engine to locate the content they desire. Popular search engines such as Google, Bing, and Yahoo all use your domain name to help index your website, making it easier to connect users' search terms to your content. While your domain name isn't the only part of your website that a search engine considers when indexing your website, it is certainly a valuable piece in the indexing process. There are whole businesses dedicated to helping you optimize your site for search engines. This practice is known as SEO, or search engine optimization. If you are selling a product or promoting a business, it is an important aspect of designing and developing your site. Picking a domain name that serves this purpose is just the beginning of optimizing your site. We'll talk more about SEO as the course progresses and what you can do to help get your website better rankings in search engines. Many sites utilize keywords in their domain names, knowing full well that search engines consider the keywords when indexing their sites. Keywords tend to give a hint to what type of content may be available on a given website. For example, a site named PittsburghMarketing.com would suggest that the site deals with marketing in the Pittsburgh area. Traditionally, keywords have played an important role in helping search engines determine how to treat your website. However, search engines have increasingly moved away from relying heavily on the keywords you include in your domain name. The focus of major search engines, such as Google, has moved towards branding. Google sees branding as a potential solution to weeding out spam and returning results that users really want. If the content that is indexed by Google is associated with a well-known and reputable brand, it is that much more likely to get posted in the search results. What this means in terms of your site's name is that it is less important to use buzzwords or keywords in your domain names and more important to create a brand that internet users can associate with your content. So how do we create an effective domain name? You can start by considering a name that will work towards establishing a clear link between your website and the content you provide. There are a few things to consider when choosing a domain name. You should make your name memorable. This will not only help web users remember the actual site, but will also make it easier for them to relay the site to their friends, colleagues, and family. You should also choose a name that is unique. This will help to differentiate your site from other sites that offer similar content. You should also try and make the name relevant to your content. Don't choose names that may be misleading or confusing to potential viewers. Try and keep your domain name short. 20 characters or less is ideal. This makes your site easier to remember. Also, make your name easy to convey by word of mouth. This way you don't lose potential traffic because someone misunderstood how your site name was supposed to be spelled. There are some things that you should also avoid when choosing a domain name. Don't use any hyphens in your name. These make it difficult for people to recall your site name. The same can be said for using numbers in your name. Don't use hard-to-spell words. Also, make sure that the name you choose isn't infringing on anyone else's intellectual property. If you choose a name that is too similar to another popular brand name or website, you could be asking for a lawsuit. Once you've figured out what your site name is going to be, you'll also have to decide what type of extension you will use. An extension is simply the ending attached to the end of a website's domain name. There are a few options that you can consider for a website that conducts business. .com, .biz, and .net can all be used for a commercial website. Usually, the best choice is the .com extension. A lot of people do not realize that there are other extensions out there. If you do choose one of the other extensions, you risk losing traffic because would-be viewers are placing a .com at the end of your site's name instead of a .net. If you are a nonprofit organization, you could also consider using the .org extension. It's also a good idea to check the name that you would like to register to make sure it's not already in use. Domainsbot.com and ddwhois.com are two sites that allow you to do so. Both options will allow you to search different extensions to see if the domain name you desire is available in a different extension. As I mentioned earlier in the class, you should be careful not to pick a domain name that is too similar to an already established business or one that is meant to confuse users into believing your website is part of that business. Doing so could invite a potential lawsuit. If you chose to use Bluehost to host your site, they give you the option to register one domain name for free when you sign up for their service. They also give you the option to transfer a domain name that you've registered at another website. If you are using Bluehost, you can also add as many additional domain names as you like for your site, which may increase the chances that a user finds your content on the web. Just remember, only the first domain name is free. You'll have to pay to register additional domain names. Let's recap. Choosing a domain name can help influence your visibility on the web. Taking the time to think of a good one can generally increase the traffic to your website. You should also try to brand your site so users remember the site and automatically associate your brand with the content you provide. This can also be done by using keywords in your domain name, but don't get carried away with lengthy domain names. Make them shorter and easy to remember to increase the chance that people will spread your website around, not just on the internet, but by word of mouth as well. Make sure to check the web to see if your proposed domain name isn't already registered. Don't choose a name that may be misleading to internet users or that may invite legal action from an already established business. That's it for today's class. Thanks for watching on behalf of E3. Stay tuned for our next class in this series.